All right, we're live. Cool. Thanks everyone for waiting on the other side there. I think we've got a pretty cool one for you today. Um, it's a gravity sketch to Vizcom workflow. And if you don't know what Vizcom is, we'll be going through that as well. And I am pleased to be joined by Žofia Babčanová. She's an incredible educator and designer in automotive design. She works at Gravity Sketch as an automotive design consultant. I'll throw it over to her for a more official introduction, but yeah, it's great to be with you all today, and thanks for joining us live. Just really thank you for taking the time to watch. If you can't make it through the whole thing, this will be available on our YouTube in forever as well as soon as the live is over. My name is Jaren Dorman, and I am creative content manager here at Gravity Sketch, and I get to do all kinds of creative things like this, and so it's just really great to be here. Žofia, thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate your time. Do you want to just go ahead and give a quick introduction of yourself and who you are?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Jaren, for having me. Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm car design consultant and car design professor, and I work closely with most of the European OEMs, car design companies. And today I want to share with you like how car companies are utilizing this Gravity Sketch to Vizcom workflow, Vizcom marriage, because it's very nice, it's seamless, everything is online, cloud, and you will get pretty good results by using very simple prompts. And we prepared a cool immersive presentation here with Jaren. So first we jump to VR and I show you how I prepare the gravity schedule data, how I take screenshots, and then we move them to Vizcom and I show you my favorite tactics and strategies for
I
great results.
I also just want to call out if you're curious, check out Zofia's content as well on social media. I'm sorry if I'm embarrassing you, Zofia, but it's true. You got to go check out her stuff on LinkedIn and Instagram. Like it's amazing. She's doing all kinds of Gravity Sketch to Vizcom workflow content. But without any further ado, I guess let's dive right into it. Um, I'll give you a minute, Zofia, because I think you need to you dive into VR, and then I will switch the feed over. And I wanted to mention, if any of you have any questions about the workflow, about Gravity Sketch, about Vizcom, please just put it in the chat, and we will do our best to answer your questions as it comes through. So yeah, please ask away in the chat.
Mhm.
Right now, what you're seeing is 2D collab. So this is our basically our screen version of joining collab in Gravity Sketch. And so you can see Sophia there. And basically, Sophia's going to go through and show a few different examples of how to make things in Gravity Sketch that you can then bring it into Vizcom and get some interesting results. But I just want to call out that we're using 2D collab in case you're wondering what you're looking at.
Yeah.
But without further ado, go ahead, Sophia. Take it away.
Okay, so I am in the VR. Jaren is on the screen on the 2D color. And here I show you my workflow, my ideal scenario, how do I get good results. So if we move here to the first stage, we see here we have very, very loose sketch, this wireframe sketch, which was done with the ink tool. And I usually like to work with the black and white surroundings. I think like for the contrast, it works the best in VR, and it also works very good with Vizcom. So you see here, it was very like fluid, very intuitive sketch. I can show you what I use. So in the um, sketch button, I use this ink tool and I just create very, very loose and dynamic sketches. And once I have this very rough sketch proportion, I usually duplicate it and take it to the next stage. So we can move here to the stroke sketch. And here in the stroke, it works pretty much as very similar as the ink tool, but you have more control and more precision because you are using it as a CV curves or Bezier curves, or if you're familiar with Illustrator, this is very much the same thing, but just in 3D. And as you can see here, the previous stage was just the wireframe, and here we have a filler. So we call this a filler, and you can use either sub-D or volume tools. So for interior, if you are doing more refined, very precise data, I would advise you to use the sub-D because it will save you some time. But if you're doing rough exterior, very like sculptural, and you want to be fast, you just can use the custom volume. This is a very intuitive and fluid kind of brush, which allows you to create like these triangulated volumes, and it's super easy to use. So for instance, if I would like to have 2D effect from this 3D data, this is what we are doing. We call it hidden line technique. But eventually what I want is 2D images from the 3D data, which would look exactly like a hand sketch. And I would get as many perspective shots as I need. So you see here, with one brush stroke, I covered the whole silhouette, the greenhouse. Now I move here to do the glass, here, the window, and just don't be afraid to use as many sections as you need, and just push the edit points, the vertices down to show the volumes. Yeah, and when you overlap with the line, don't worry, just edit it. So how I'm editing it, creating the volumes, then I grab it with your dominant hand and you press blue button, and now you can edit the points. So this is how I prepare all of my screenshots, all of my data. Okay. Here. So you see, I'm pretty rough. I don't spend much, don't overthink it. Here we just want the cool 2D sketch. You are not going to hand off this data to modeler. This is not like, we are not focusing on highlights or anything. We are just filling the wireframe with a white filler. Okay.
So you're just trying to cover up the lines on the other side of the vehicle, is that right?
Yeah, because imagine you have all of these perspective inside lines that would confuse Vizcom. And the same thing, like imagine you want to work with it in Photoshop, you will need to clean up it in Photoshop. And I think it's just faster if you do it here, because then you can have the perspective shots from all of different angles. So I'm just covering section by section. Yeah, and I use the flat color. I mean, if I show you like how does it look in a different color, you see it's like this very random volume, but I don't care. We don't care about highlights, or we don't even care about topology or the actual surface. We just want the trick that it looks like a flat sketch. And then what I do, it's like usually hide the surroundings, and I go to settings, workspace, and make everything white. So you can change the environment here in custom. You see I have different shades of blue. So I'm just changing it everything to white. Sorry, it's lilac. Yeah, like this. And now you will have a better feeling of a 2D sketch in 3D environment. And once you have a good understanding and good sketch, good base, let me cover here the corner. So here the top. Once you have it, then you press blue button and you go here to save and export. And here you have take screenshot. And in the advanced settings, you can choose if you want transparent background. I wouldn't advise it right now. We want a full white. We don't want instant photo because it will bring it here, and we want render mode. The render mode gets rid of the axis. So, and here you can change the depth of field and just takes as many screenshots as you need. Yeah. I'm also going to take screenshot from the side view, front view. And also what I've noticed with Vizcom likes orthographic views more than dramatic perspectives. So if it's like really difficult top 3/4 front view, Vizcom will have difficulties to understand and read it. So make sure you you also take a good orthographic sketches. And if you look here on the board, so you can see that from this interior I have here, I produced this many different styles, different iterations, and I brought it back to Gravity Sketch. So I would use this as the Photoshop inspiration or inspiration in general. And from here, I would keep modeling. I would start with the sub-D data here. And you can see my next step here. It was in this stage. I tried to like do sketch model, something super lightweight, sub-D, but there is still a lot of line work over to keep the whole sketch intact. And I was moving to more and more precise stuff. Here you can see I started to use textures, but I still kept the wireframe. And then in the last stage, I think like the detail you can achieve in Gravity Sketch is something like this. From here, I would move to another software. But yeah, you can bring textures. This was also AI generated UI. You can bring your own stickers, your own textures, and have a basic texturing here.
And Sophia, you're saying these models were informed by the results you got from Vizcom. Is that correct? That
Yes.
these, yeah. So that's a really interesting workflow because, um, based off the sketch, it seems like Vizcom can really fill in those gaps as to the design possibilities, the surfacing possibilities, I guess.
Yeah, it helps you to visualize it. It helps you to set the atmosphere. For instance, here, maybe I still want to change it because I didn't envision the chair so soft and cushiony as here, but I pretty much like it because I had quite a flat design. So as a next step, I would like take the existing sub-D what I have and make it like more bubblier and softer based off this inspiration here. And as you can also see, the interesting part is I didn't have cross sections here on the hyper screen and here on the dashboard, so that the Vizcom didn't know how to read this. And you see it's read it as a closed volume, but it's also kind of interesting. It's very, I would say, modern and minimalistic how it got rid of the screen. But also here, and I took it back to Photoshop, and this is what I was envisioning. Also, this one is cool. So it's like back and forth. I kind of like that it doesn't do 100% what you expect and what you want, because it can influence your whole process.
Happy accidents in a way, I guess.
Happy accidents. Happy trees and happy accidents.
Right. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, now we can move to the Vizcom.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, let me know when I should share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, I think someone said just if you could talk a bit louder, but I think that's just because you were farther away from your mic.
Sorry.
But that's okay.
Better?
No, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, so we are in a Vizcom. So what is Vizcom? Vizcom is easy AI tool, AI software, which helps you to translate your rough idea to beautiful visualization, beautiful renderings. And I see the adoption mainly in transportation design, footwear design. Concept artists are doing great stuff with it, character designers. So it's more design-oriented tool, which is great because the results are optimized for these industries I've just mentioned. So here are a few of my examples. All of these were Gravity Sketch to Vizcom. And first I will show you two different workflows. So the first one is from what I've just showed you. So all of these are PNGs, just the rough screenshots taken in Gravity Sketch. And then I imported them to Vizcom and got these results. But what you can also do, and I want to talk about it in the second part, is how you turn the 3D file, GLB file from Gravity Sketch to the 2D rendering.
I'm excited to dive into that. That's going to be interesting as well.
Yeah. So let's start with this one, because I even don't think like the sketches I made in Gravity Sketch were like super like refined. You will see like my workflow here. So I go reverse engineering. Okay. So for instance, like this was super rough sketch in Gravity Sketch. I also took here the white brush and like erase some of the stuff. And like my workflow here was I tried to use first the volume render. I can show you that in a minute. And I build it on top of that. You see, I was like building the volumes first, and I kind of like these results. I was not focusing on details. Then I smudged the edges because it was not important. And then again, you see how rough this was. I just used the brush and paint this triangle here. And on top of this, I started to use the Vizcom general tool. Yeah, and this was like with more
Wow.
refinement. It was very subtle. So
This is
I got
really, really interesting. I'm sorry. I just it's you're really starting from like just a like
yeah.
you're really building a sketch, um, like building on top of it's like a really super simple sketch. I think that's extremely powerful. Anyway,
Yeah.
continue. I just think it's amazing.
Yeah. So I wouldn't go directly because here, what do you see here in Viscom? Super simple. You have the create, like where you write prompts, and here you have your layers. So the layers, I would say like Photoshop principle, you have visibility, height, unhide, you have the opacity, and here you have like how you want to move, duplicate, rename, etc. Okay, we have this one from Gravity Sketch. Now I come to the create, to the magic wand, and here is the prompt. Look, like the prompts for exterior, I think in Viscom they're quite easy. Silver, glossy, sleek, Photoshop sketch, soft volumes, front view, sports car, high quality. So what I found out, it really helps if you define the orthographic or the perspective view, number one. If it's front, name, front view, three-quarter view, rear view, top view, side view, name it. Then which type of car is it? Is it concept car? Is it SUV, sports car? Name the type of car or shoe or whatever are you rendering. And then here you have two settings. It's render and refine. So when you start from the sketch, I always start from render. In case you are bringing here a rendering, it can be also like Blender rendering, Photoshop rendering, then maybe use the refine and play with it. And here you have render styles. So I pretty much, like my favorite one is the volume reader, because if we go to directly to Vizcom General, we can do this. So here I have the paid version, so I can generate 4 images in one. And I usually go here in the drawing influence from 85 to 95. So let's go for 90 here. Render Vizcom General, and we generate. So we are just waiting. Okay, so this usually happens when you go from rough sketch and you go directly to Vizcom General. It generates very detailed and like high quality rendering, but it doesn't know what to do with all of these unprecise lines. So you get these crooked edges, and then you have hard time cleaning it in Photoshop. It also didn't know what to do with the triangle here. It's positive, it's negative. It was just very much a graphic. So that's why I prefer the volume readers. So, but which one do I like? Okay, let's keep this one. Then you just confirm. We can go back, just hide it. We go back to the original black and white sketch. And here I change it to the volume render here. Again, let's keep it 90 and generate. So, and then the volume render, it really reminds me of Photoshop. The easiest way how to render in Photoshop is the grayscale, and this is it. And it also it doesn't know what's positive or negative, so you maybe need to read it multiple times. But yeah, for instance, this one is pretty nice. Like it has this bubble fenders, a little bit of light here. Also, this one is nice with the light coming from the front. So it gives you multiple options, but you can also regenerate, and it goes directly from the black and white sketch one more time again.
That's cool. So if you just want to keep getting new results, you can just keep clicking generate then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you don't need to even go back to the layers. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, this is a bit. Okay, which one do we like? Jaren, which one do you like?
Um, that one's kind of nice there.
Okay, so we
Um,
confirm. Yeah.
yeah.
So then you confirm, and now you have it in the layers. So we see it's here. So here, what I would do, it's like, okay, I want to paint here, this front. I'm doing it with my mouse, so it won't be as precise as a tablet sketching, but
Yeah,
it's
do
all
you
right.
use the tablet? Do you use the pen and tablet for Vizcom?
Yeah, I use, but also like sometimes I'm lazy to just use the mouse, and it works pretty nice. Also the in paint, so yeah. But I also would refine it then later in Photoshop. Ooh, so, ooh. But I think like most of the people they just have a mouse, so let's be realistic.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, feel like first grader, but we get there. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So now we have this, and we can move. And like I build it, like it's like a lot of back and forth, try and error. Don't worry about it. And we can do one more over this to see how it goes. And I find it like much time, like more time you spend with Viscom, the better results you get. Usually, like you need to get to know each other. Okay, this one is not so bad. Okay, I
Wow.
would confirm this. Yeah, and this like because the original sketch was a bit like unrefined here, then I would need to clean this in Photoshop, but it's all right. And then maybe here I would go to Viscom General, and which will like generate more hyper-realistic renderings. The automotive interiors, what I found out, it's like when you use this one, it's also good. It gives you different, very nice materials like copper, I don't know, pink gold, like brushed aluminum and stuff. So definitely also try the interiors for exterior. We can try that. Okay, let's go 95 here.
It's amazing too how it really cleaned up that triangle too that you
Yeah,
just drew
yeah,
with your mouse. It's amazing.
yeah.
Oh
You
wow.
see, yeah. And then it's like changes here the details. Like I prefer this one. This is more like a nose. Yeah, I would go probably this or this one. Yeah, I just don't like this, but I think this one I would clean in Photoshop, or we can try to in paint, it. So we have it now in the layer. Here you have this tool in painting, and this is what are you doing is you make selections and you are telling Viscom the rest of the image is good. Just focus on these points. Again, I'm using mouse. Select this one and this one we don't like. But this is not such a tragedy, even if it's not a good result. I would clean it in Photoshop. One more time. Sorry. Oh, when you misclick, you lose it. Okay.
Oh, the other one's gone.
Oops. Hop. Oh, you can only have one. Oh, I'm
Oh.
not holding shift. Okay, you need to hold shift.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's like Photoshop. You just hold shift and you add to the. Okay, good. And let's run it one more time. So sometimes when you input it reads it differently, like negative or positive.
Mm.
So let's see. How does it read it? Okay. Okay, it's not such a dramatic change. We just see a different reflection here.
I'm sure. I guess maybe those watching, I guess maybe you like play around with it. Maybe a larger selection area might change it. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm just guessing. But this is
Yeah.
amazing that you can just like sort of build on top of each sort of each result, getting to a more refined
Yeah, because it
result.
allows you to like you have much like you have greater control, I think, in this stage, I can also show you this one. It was from side view. I really like orthographic views. That works beautifully. So you see, this was also the volume reader, and on top of that, I was like masking. Yeah, I was not happy here with the drop shape, and it was because I didn't define the section very well. So if you want precise surfacing, pay attention to your sections and cross sections. But then, yeah, and that this was the Vizcom general on top of the volume render. Oh yeah, I like the rims. So I
Yeah.
would start, because when you start directly with the Vizcom general, you will have more generic results. Like the details won't be what you want.
I see.
Yeah, yeah. Also, maybe I show you also the 3/4, and the 3/4 are, I think, the most trickiest, in a sense that you see it was from this sketch. Again, super rough. Here you wouldn't know if it's Photoshop, if it's just rough gravity sketch. So this was rough gravity. Again, super simple volume reader. It got rid of the whole graphic, but this is what I wanted, because if you have something like this in Photoshop, this saved you maybe 20-30 minutes of the Photoshop sketching.
Yeah.
Even this is a great base for hand sketching, I think. And then you see like more and more refinement on top of that. And I kind of like the volume reader is blurring some of the parts. And here I didn't like the front again. So see, I was just like sketching like this, very roughly, and then just moving. Again, super rough sketch here with the brush. I just picked the color black and like grayish, and then refining it.
Um, the blurring is like, is that's randomly done by the software,
That
or is
it was the volume render. It just
okay?
blurred it. Yeah, for
Interesting.
some reason. It was interesting. Yeah.
What do the different color brushes do? Like if you change the color of the brush?
Oh, yeah. You can change to whatever color you want. You can pick. I mean, I wouldn't just use red. I would try to like blend it roughly with the surface of the car.
Uh huh.
But you can use and set the color here in the prompt. So what really works well when you put glossy or metallic or silver, these are super nice. But I would say the colors work with the Vizcom general, and they don't work as well with the volume and the Technicolor. The Technicolor is more like conceptual rendering, and it's almost always like orange or red, even if you put different words. But yeah, I can show you in my different. This is my non-paid version of Vizcom. So this was like a green Technicolor. And also, yeah, this one is nice because this is a bit different approach to the rendering. So this was more like SUV, very like Jeep-like, very productive. And I think like Vizcom loves to render such volumes. It has such an easy time for like to differentiate what's happening with the surface treatment. So this was one of the best results I've got. And
Wow.
again, make sure you define like if it's front or rear, because then it's just it's front rear.
That's so funny.
And here I was just like describing different backgrounds, like golf.
Are the backgrounds randomly
Yeah,
generated
yeah.
too?
Deserts. You can write like a green SUV on desert. Okay, let me
Oh
show.
wow.
Rear rendering, green minimalistic concept SUV glass, high quality rendering. Yeah. And here I didn't build it with the volume because I think like the style of the design is very pragmatic, and then the Vizcom didn't have a problem to read it. So again, this was the Vizcom General, and here this was the Vizcom Technicolor. We can try it. Okay, so you have this. Okay, I just hide all of these layers here. Da-da-da. Make it white. Okay, we go here and we can go pastel and just go 95. And here I put the green, so I'm curious if it picks the color. And here, this is a non-paid version, so you see I'm not generating 4 images at the same time. I will just have one. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Oh, sorry,
Wow.
it was pastel. I wanted to put Technicolor, so cancel. Generate. Yeah. The pastel one here. Yeah. We are not such friends with the pastel. I didn't have great results, but all the other, they're pretty cool.
What does pastel render usually do?
It's very like Turkish, like turquoise color, like
Okay.
pastely colors, and it looks good when you put the wireframe on top of it.
Okay.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, wow.
So this is very dreamy, like milky renderings. Yeah, and also here you see in the, yeah, confirm this. You see here, so in Gravity Sketch, this was the actual tear. I just put the opacity down. So it creates more like sketchy, watery effect, liquify effect on top of it. But it's nice. Yeah.
Wow.
And then, yeah, maybe this is the paid version. Okay, so I showed you this, so maybe I show you the interior. So
I want to say too, just want to remind everybody, if anybody's new is joining, if you got any questions, please write it in the chat. Happy to answer. We can shoot it over to Žofia as well. So, but if no questions, no worries. Just want to remind
no
everyone.
worries.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so this one was like what I've shown you in the VR. The only problematic thing on this one is, again, what I told you. It doesn't have the cross sections and sections here. So next time when I do this, I remind myself to put more like what's happening here in the surface. Like if it's negative, positive, also the seeds, you see they could be more defined.
So, are you saying that when you draw cross sections, it can understand a bit more
Yeah.
if something's convex or concave?
Yes, because otherwise it has
Wow.
a problem. Yeah, because
That's
here you will see.
it's pretty amazing though that it can know that.
You see, it looks positive all the way here.
Yeah.
And I want to like tack, negative, positive.
Oh.
Also the steering wheel. I had the most trouble with the steering wheel. I didn't know how to read this. Okay, maybe I needed like one section here. Also, sorry. Ooh. And also I would add cross sections on the handlebar of the steering wheel. That would help, I think. So, and here you need to define in interior what you see. So it's like 2 seats, dashboard, console, side panels, steering wheel, and then like sporty in red colors, Photoshop rendering high quality. So you need to be much more specific with the interior to describe what you see and what you want. So this was like a blue color, but still I really like how it describes the seats. I mean, look, there was not so much information and it kind of guessed the seams correctly. And yeah, the stitching was nice. Then yeah, you can also erase. So I didn't like how it rendered the whole dashboard. So I just took the eraser and erased the dashboard, and I kept the dashboard from this one. And I started building on top of it. Yeah, sometimes you get like wild results, but the seats are pretty cool here. Yeah. So that's how I was experimenting.
So
yeah.
I think you kind of just touched on it with the dashboard, but I want to, I guess, ask a clarifying question. So say you like the seats in this, but you want to iterate on other parts of the result. Would you mask those out somehow, or how would that work?
So let's say I would like here on this part, I would like to just keep maybe here the dashboard, but I would like to use the seats from here. You can duplicate, then you hide, and here I would go here and erase that. Oops. no, I would erase this part to keep the dashboard. Oop. And use this mixture of these two. And probably here I would refine it. Can do that.
And even though those are on two different layers, can you run another
Yes.
generation based
Yes,
off that?
you can run a generation on top of that. Oop. So like this. Then it can go here. And let's say I was also testing, like, I just want to improve maybe also the lighting or the shade. So we just generate on top of it. And again, I had better result with Vizcom General than with the Vizcom interiors for interior. That was interesting. But we can try also because the interior gives you materials. The render style interior gives you materials, but I think like the sense. Oh, this is nice. The sense of the proportion is better in the Vizcom General.
Okay.
You see, and this combines these two. But now we can. So now we confirm it. So it's in the layers. Now we can run the interior render style on top of it.
So you're saying maybe interiors mode works better when you already have sort of a
when you have a base.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, maybe we need to write better descriptions of. You need to describe also the materials in the automotive interior.
Okay.
So yeah, this would be for the interior, and then maybe last one I show you how to do the 3D files, because this is interesting and almost nobody is doing this. So here in the layers, you see you have import image, add layer, and here you have the cube. So when you click on the cube, you already have prefabs. There is a generic shoe and generic car, which you can take and iterate and like rotate and get your own, but you can also upload the model. So from Gravity Sketch, you can export GLB, FBX, OBJ file. And for Vizcom, I would recommend GLB. The FBX didn't work so well for me. I don't know why, but the GLB, chef's kiss, super easy export. Basically from landing pad. So if you don't know, landing pad is the cloud solution for Gravity Sketch. So this is where all of your sketches, images are going to be saved. So if you open the file, you can just, maybe I can, we have the file here. This is obviously a huge room, but here you have the export setting, and here is a GLB. And there is nothing here. You just export GLB as it is. Super easy. You don't need to remember anything. And then you just bring it here to Vizcom. And now you can rotate it. It was super rough model. You can zoom out in. So once you are happy with the perspective, okay, let's do this one. Orthographics works pretty nice. You can add it to canvas. Okay. One thing, also be mindful of the size. You can now drag it and make it bigger. Shift to keep the ratio, but it will be super blurry. So, okay, one more time. We go here, the rear view, zoom it to the fullest, because you will have better resolution, and you will not have much. You will not see so much background, and the Vizcom will focus more on the car. Okay, add to canvas. Okay, nice. I can little bit scale it. Okay. Now I think it will not know if it's front or rear or what, so we need to specify it. So I would be like concept hypercar rear view red color modern high quality metallic. Okay, and let's try the Technicolor, and let's go 95. And for 4 images. And we will see.
We have someone asking about upscaling for PSD files. Is there a way to upscale? Oh, wow. Look at that.
Upscale. So I think this one from Vizcom, you don't need to actually upscale it because you will have 4K. So confirm, we can go
Gotcha.
here to export. So from here you have export. So now this is the paid version and I will have the 4K. If you don't have the paid version, you will have full HD, but it's still good. You don't need to upscale it, or you just can take it to different AI tools to upscale it for free. So I would just, export it, or you export it as PSD, but it's also like in the paid version. I can show you the paid version. Okay, it's still exporting. Yeah.
That's amazing, though.
This is pretty much.
Yeah, this is incredible, Žofia. Thank you for running through these different scenarios. We also do have a question about environment design, because I know that people have seen some environment design work with Vizcom. I can confirm, yes, there's some great environment design workflows. Obviously, today we're focusing on automotive design, since Žofia's background is in automotive design. But let us know if you want us to do another segment focusing on another industry alongside GraviSketch and Vizcom. So let us know. Or I throw it over to you, Žofia. I don't know if there's something you wanted to show around that or not.
I haven't tried it for backgrounds, but as you can see, it like if you define it.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
Like golf, and this was desert environment. Just go for it. And maybe that's a good workflow, like just to define the HDR or JPEG, because you can also have the horizontal landscape template. So then you can use it as a background.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I think try it. Yeah. Mountains. I've seen cool mountains, lakes, rivers, desert, all of these natural environments. I haven't tried it like with a city, but maybe,
Wow.
It would be a good thing to discover.
Oh, I think I maybe even saw. I'm remembering now. I think I maybe saw someone post like they took a picture of like their desk and it had like random items on it, and then.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Like
and then throw it into Vizcom, and it like turns it into like a cityscape or something, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen that. It was like a junk to sketch something initiative on Instagram, like where just people took photos from random objects, and it was like spaceship or some random conceptual art. It's also a cool way.
Well, I just want to say thank you, Žofia, for running through these workflows. This was extremely educational, not only for me, but I mean, obviously for everybody watching and everyone who will watch, of course. So if you're just joining us, if you missed it, no worries. This is going to be available as soon as the live is over, so you can go back and watch it from the beginning. We haven't officially announced it yet, but we have something exciting to announce tomorrow in regards to GraviSketch and Vizcom. So stay tuned for that as well in our social media. So, but thank you, Žofia, and thank you everyone for watching. Really appreciate everyone's time. How are we doing on time? Just want to see if we have any time for questions or anything like that. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask. Maybe we can stay on for just 1 more minute or 2 more minutes. But crazy powerful workflow. I'm just blown away, especially when you were starting from those loose line sketches, because I didn't know that you could basically through layers build on top of the generative results that you were getting.
Yeah, it was also like very surprising for me that you don't need to you don't expect like from sketch to full rendering in 1 click.
Yeah.
If you build it, yeah, it helps you to keep the details you want to have in your mind, or you add the details later in Photoshop.
Right.
Because most of the time you spend so much time shading the whole volume, the whole
Right.
car. Yeah.
To even just see what what the surfaces will look like, you know.
Yeah.
And in this case, it you can do it. You
Because
can
it helps
see
you,
it
like
immediately.
the light is perfect. The lighting just
Yeah.
hits from the side. You have the clear definition on the front corner, and like it has a focal point already. And now you can like basically sketch whatever you want here in these details. You don't. You can iterate on your own,
Right.
but sometimes like the lighting, it's so difficult to get. And
Right.
the contrast, everything. Yeah.
Massive time saver. And and further on that, like not only is it like the lighting good and the materials, but it's actually like kind of artful and artistic as well. Like it's
Yeah. It can be.
yeah.
Like this. This is very
Especially yeah,
nice.
yeah, especially
Very
that.
loose painting. So this one is the Technicolor 6. And I like it. Like it's more focused here. It's blurry at the background. You have this conceptual like environment.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really amazing. Well, I think we'll just leave it at that, Sophia. I just want to say thank you again, and stay tuned, everyone watching. We do these live sketches at least twice a month, and so stay tuned for the next one. We usually try and we're pretty wide open on what we talk about, what we show. So if you have any things that you want to see workflow wise or something you want to know in Gravity Sketch, this is a great opportunity to jump on live and ask questions while we show the product and show different workflows. So thanks everyone for watching, and thank you, Sophia. I really appreciate it. Oh, if you could just really quickly mention your social media, your Instagram, where
Oh
people
yeah.
can go follow you, because you've got some amazing content. I would just love to get that a shout.
Oh yeah. Thanks for pitching me. Design Žofia is the Instagram, and Žofia Babčanová is my LinkedIn.
Yeah, I think we'll also just link that in the description too. It'll probably make it easier. But yeah, thanks so much, Sophia, and thank you, everyone.
And yeah, hello everybody. Have a good day. Thank you, Jaren.
See ya.
Bye bye.